Welcome back, everyone, to Third Street Reactions. I'm Zack.
Shane.
We are back with The Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 8. Do you remember what happened?
The idea of Chuchi and some of these clones having obviously a huge issue with what really happened on Kamino, and Chuchi's trying to fight for the rights of the clones, and then we had Slip and we had his friend Cade, who was killed. Rampart has sent an assassin after them to kind of squash that.
Turns out the assassin was another clone.
Yeah, just going each other. Clone on clone violence.
Using them, but the only examples you have right now that we've seen are Crosshair, who's taken out, or trying to take out other clones.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's necessarily killed any yet.
Well, they blew up Kamino, so someone, I guess...
but then you could just say a lot of clones that were aboard those ships killed a lot of clones that were in Kamino.
Yeah.
I guess, and those are major examples. That's true.
Button pressing doesn't count, I think, on a personal level. I mean, obviously, when you press a button and all these people down there die from a drone strike, it's obviously not the same as shooting someone in the head.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, though. So technically, we get to say that there have been mass amounts of clone-on-clone violence. They're being used against one another.
But really,
they're being used to destroy themselves. If they're playing a better game to convince the Senate of the problems they faced with the clones, and then that would have fucking cured the problem of the bill.
Yeah.
We got that baby passed. It would have cured the problem of paying them a full pension, because now nobody fucking trusts them.
Guys, before we jump in, if you want to support us, check us out on Patreon. Go there and watch the full-length reaction that we're about to watch, and then come back here and hear our discussion. Let's jump in. Rika.
Teak. Eco. Didn't do that one that well. Eco.
What's she doing, Zack?
She's force meditating.
You're meditating again?
Trying. Benji taught me, but it doesn't work for me the way it did for him.
He's a Jedi.
I still like it though.
If it weren't for this squad, I'd still be a prisoner there. Or worse.
Is that what made you join them?
This was where I fit. Where I was needed.
We have an incoming transmission.
What do you need, Rex?
I'll explain everything when you get to Coruscant.
Coruscant? That's a big ask, Captain.
Why? What's on Coruscant?
It is the galactic capital, and thus, the heart of the Empire.
But the Empire thinks we're dead. They won't be looking for us. I'd like to keep it that way. Glad you made it. This is Senator Raya Chuchi.
Raya?
Yeah.
These are the special clones I told you about. A clone contacted mine named Slip. He said he was in danger. I came to Coruscant to get him out, but the assassin got to him first.
Admiral Rampart has the entire Senate believing Kamino was lost to a cataclysmic storm. Slip witnessed the truth. I wanted him to testify to Rampart's crimes.
We were there too, Senator. I can be your witness. The Senate won't listen to any of us. We're deserters. Hunter's right. But there's another way to provide the Senate with the evidence of the Empire's crimes. The command log on Rampart's Venator.
Senator Chuchi.
You seem surprised to see me, Admiral.
Not at all. I was just making a few preparations for tomorrow's vote.
Indeed. I am looking forward to it.
Who's this kid?
If you'll excuse me.
Assassin? It appears Rampart is resourceful in covering up his misdeeds.
I just want to go walking around
To be equally resourceful.
after an assassination attempt.
I agree.
Associates of mine are helping procure evidence of his attack on Kamino to present to the Senate.
If you're intent on seeing this through, then there is someone you should speak with. But her cooperation may not be forthcoming. Halle Bertoni.
Haven't been in these maintenance tunnels since the war. Gotta say, Rex, Coruscant's the last place I'd expect you to be. Troopers who know too much are a liability to the Empire. I'm working with a few contacts I trust, but we're spread pretty thin. Help's hard to come by these days.
The way how fast those things open. You just be walking, just open real fast. There's people walking through there, you know?
Energy conduits are offline.
to retrieve the data is to reroute power, which will most likely signal a security breach. How much time will we have? Not much. Then let's make it quick.
Unauthorized bridge activation.
Reminds me of when in Independence Day, when the alien kind of notices that they're,
Yeah.
you know, what the hell?
On-board sentries.
With the clone trooper provisions requested by Senator Chuchi now addressed and the matter resolved, there is no reason to delay the vote of the Imperial Defense Recruitment Bill further.
That is not the case, Admiral. We cannot take you on your word when you have given us reason not to.
And what reason is that?
According to Halle Bertoni, you were responsible for diverting Kaminoan funding to outside projects without Senate approval.
And you believe the lies of a disgraced senator?
A formal investigation should clear things up. Unless you want to tell us now where those funds went.
Get this to Senator Chuchi. Hurry.
Just trust her ass? I would trust her, but...
liberty to disclose the nature of certain military operations. The funds you are referring to were redistributed, not misappropriated.
Your actions began months prior to the loss of Tipoca City. Almost as if you were preparing for it.
What exactly are you implying?
I assert that the Kaminoan cloning facilities were intentionally eliminated.
Let us proceed with this vote.
I motion that Senator Chuchi be removed from these proceedings and she be censured for her misconduct.
Oh, hell.
I second the motion. Senator
Oh, no one wants to listen to a fucking bulged out screw.
New evidence has come to light which must be considered.
His own ships caused the destruction of Tipoca City.
Man.
It's a fake.
Masamada got his ass. It's like, we really need you to step in here. Yeah. Things are not going according to plan.
It would appear that Senator Chuchi's horrific assertions are correct. This unprovoked attack on Camino was a cowardly act by Admiral Rampart to further his own
His face.
agenda. Guards, arrest and detain the Admiral. I was following orders. I was
I am deeply troubled by this recent revelation. My gratitude to Senator Chuchi for exposing a rogue element within our ranks. It is time for a change.
Palpatine was one step ahead of us during the war, and he's still several steps ahead of us. We played right into his hands.
I don't understand. We did the right thing. We told the truth.
And he twisted it to his advantage. The Emperor wanted us to implicate Rampart to get what he was after all along. Senate approval for his stormtrooper program. The fate of all the clones is now sealed. Because of us.
But I will keep fighting for the clones. You all deserve the same rights as every citizen. I won't give up.
If you need anything, Rex, just say the word. Wherever you end up, remember what I said.
We're a squad.
Omega, this is something I have to do.
What do you think of that?
Oh, that was really great.
Yeah.
I want to know who writes Palpatine's speeches. You know, some fucking politicians in reality probably hire that guy. The Rampart diverting the funds, and he was the fall guy. He was the patsy.
Yeah, he was a patsy.
Yep. I didn't like him anyway.
I didn't either, and, you know, this show, like, he was the bad guy for the first season, but, you know, they're moving forward, you know? And the Empire does that. I think there's only 3 people in that whole organization that aren't really expendable. And if Palpatine if it came down to it, Vader is expendable because he was trying to replace him with Luke.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's expendable.
Yeah.
For the most part, you know? So just be a shitty place to work.
It would be.
Yeah.
And all things considered.
Were you satisfied with? I mean, it's a kind of a two episode arc. Are you satisfied with how Rampart went out?
Yeah, you don't see him dying.
Yeah.
So.
And just to be clear, I don't know what happens to him. You know, so
It's
weird. We're halfway through the season now, and I haven't seen season 3, so I'm going to see a bunch of Star Wars I haven't seen yet. It's been out for a few months now. I'm very excited. I loved how Palpatine came back. I think it was good to, not have him in there all the time. You know what I mean?
Well, he needs to be given in small and appropriate doses.
Yeah. I think what's important that George and Dave talk about, like, Palpatine, not every single thing goes according to plan. Maul wasn't supposed to die. The Clone Wars shows that, like, fucking Maul wasn't supposed to live. You know what I mean? And he wasn't supposed to do as well as he did. Palpatine was focused on one war, controlling, two sides. And then, and Maul is king of Mandalore and everything else. And just like, oh, that's not good. We can't have him here. Because he's essentially a rival. He's adaptable. Like, I think I can strategize well if I need to. But I don't think I'm adaptable. I think I...
Well, it's actually adapting in a way that involves some very intrinsic schemes.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking on your feet and you know how to all these machinations and you know how to maneuver all this political bureaucratic machinery to make things work in your favor, if things just go south.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fucking impressive. But I'd say he probably sits down and puts a lot of mental power into that.
He
his
must.
time off. He's like sitting down meditating, like, what will I do if so-and-so says this?
Yeah. I was looking at some Plagueis quotes about just the philosophy of when he's training Palpatine. But how they are not butchers, they're architects. They, and just like the way, like, he taught, basically the Sith have been incubating and waiting for this. You know what I mean? And they ultimately echo back with Rex. We did talk about that towards the end of the reaction, but now we just have our team, and you probably know he ain't going to be gone forever. We're going to see more Rex. We'll see more Echo.
Oh, yeah.
When Omega's sad, the show has done a great job of making me... we both have girls her age. So I was like crying. Expressive. I was like, that's terrible. I just don't want her to be sad.
Very
ever.
Expressive.
Yeah, I just don't want her to be sad.
I know.
Like, I would have liked this show without her. But
she kind of brings it down.
She gives it an emotional component. Yeah. That's not just all war and whatever.
Yeah, not just all machismo.
Yeah. Guys, if you don't want to wait until next week, check us out on Patreon for early access. If not, we'll see you then.